Hello and welcome to the Summit episode of the All Red Berry Speedrun tutorial series, brought to you by Xenoras, TO98, and me, profnyan. In this video, we'll be going over the strats needed to complete Summit ARB quickly and consistently. Just like in any percent, Summit is by far the longest level in ARB, but since the berries are often really spread out, there are a lot of any percent rooms we won't be covering here. There are also a lot of places where you just can't go back, so it's best to find little ways to collect your berries while still keeping up the pace. Alright, let's carry on with Summit. Heading into the start of Summit here, there are a couple rooms we can just skip over to get to the ARB strats, so I'm just going to debug to the end of room 2 up here. And then from the end of room 2 up here, what we're going to be doing is an immediate hyper through the transition and an upright dash to hit the spring. You want the upright to be buffered to make sure that you can hit the spring there, but if you miss it, it's fine. You can just go for an up left dash back to hit the spring again like this. Then we're going to go for a wall bounce, so an up dash and then a wall bounce through the secret pathway up here, and then we'll do a climb jump and then another climb jump after the transition to get us a little bit of extra height. Then we'll do a left dash and an up dash to touch the berry here. From here we'll have to set up for a demo, and the way we do that is 2 quick climb jumps till we're barely above the spikes here. You can be a little bit higher, but you don't want to be too high like this because it's not quite that generous. But from here now we'll do 2 left dashes and then fast fall to the edge of the green platform down here, and the instant we land we want to do a down dash so that it cancels our sliding momentum and we don't slide out of position like this. So down dash upon contact. And from here we want to meet 2 conditions, the first of which being that Madeline's wobbling over the edge like this, and the second that at least 1 brown pixel of her leg is showing there. And if we have met both of those conditions, we can do a full jump, and then a down dash with grab held to grab the side of this block. Then we need to move down 1 pixel here, and we can demo right through the gap. Just dropping in here with a quick note for something I didn't mention the first time I recorded this. If you're trying to drop a single pixel while grabbing a wall, it can be made a lot easier if you just release grab and then repress it really quickly. That's all. Back to the video. This is the hardest berry of 0 meters, so don't feel like the rest of the difficulty is going to match this, but make sure you get enough practice to have that demo consistent. Then we'll just fall through the transition, and we can do a right dash and an up dash into the first spring, and something similar over here. Now here we have another any percent room though, so we're just going to skip right over this and get to the ARB strats. So what we need to do is, after hitting the spring down here, you can go for a wall bounce, a neutral wall bounce, and then an up left up to here, where our ARB strats are going to start. To enter the room, we're going to do an extended super, and then 2 up dashes along the right wall here. And then we have 2 strat options to get to the berry on the right, the first of which being a wall bounce, like this, where you wall bounce with right held, then you dash right to the berry and up left the instant you come into contact with it. Or you can go for a top pixel jump over here, like this. Same concept. Up left as soon as you touch the berry to make sure you clear the spikes again and land over here. Now for the left berry, it's just an extended super to do 2 up dashes to hit the spring, and then get the berry and head back over to here. From here now, we can do an extended hyper and a down dash through the transition to collect the berry and get some speed going. Then we'll do a quick wave dash, bunny hop, and another wave dash through this transition. Now next, after we collect the dash crystal over here, what you're doing instead of the normal any percent strat is you'll kick off, climb jump, but then upright dash up to there and do another climb jump over the top to grab the berry and fall down to the next dash crystal. Then you'll just resume your normal any percent exit here. But that's all of the 0 meters ARB strats, so we're just going to skip ahead to where they start in 500 meters now. Okay, heading into 500 meters here. Once we get to the end of the second room here, we're going to go for a hyper through the transition, then a wave dash, and an upright. And you can either do climb jumps off of this right side here, or a wall bounce off this little chunk here, whatever you're more comfortable with. Either way though, you want to be landing up here to then go for an extended hyper to the traffic block over there on the left. And as soon as you grab it to activate it, you want to do 2 quick climb jumps over the top up to here. And from here, we'll be doing a neutral to the berry. Just a quick tap jump works just fine. Then you can do a left dash and an up left through this dash crystal. We want to collect the dash crystal with that up left and not earlier, so that we have both dashes. So we can then do a wall bounce here. And then a right dash to this dash crystal, letting us do 2 more up dashes here, skipping that other dash crystal on the left side of the screen. From up here now, we'll go for a quick reverse super to make sure we collect this berry. And then do an up left and a left dash through the transition. After the transition here, we'll wall bounce off this wall and dash up and do a couple climb jumps to grab this next traffic block. So we'll grab the bottom of the traffic block here and then climb up it as it's moving along its zipper. And then jump into the spring here. Then we'll do an up left, or an upright dash rather, to this next berry. And then an immediate wave dash in the opposite direction, so that we can then do left dashes to get us over to here. So like this. To get us over to this platform, collecting the berry. Then we'll dash through the next transition here, and fall over to this wall here, so that we can then kick off of it, and go for a demo under these traffic blocks. And then an upright to grab the left side of that later traffic block. Then after grabbing this berry, you're just going to collect it right here, and then death warp to the other end of the room right here. And just hyper through it, and do another death warp down to here. From here now, we're just going to hyper through the transition, then do a down right and a right dash to get us onto this platform. And then an upright, and then a wave dash here, and another wave dash. So this room should just look like this. Then another wave dash after the transition here, where we'll bunny hop off of this traffic block. And then wave dash with a very tiny jump on this next wave dash to get us through the transition here, because we're going to be going for this wall bounce strat here. So to get that, we need a little bit of height to get over the little chunk of stone at the start of the next room, but we don't want to be too high, because then we're going to bonk. So tiny jump and then pretty small b-hop there. Then we'll collect the berry and dash down left to get onto this platform. Then we can just do an up left and a left dash, and then another left dash to get us onto the traffic block over here. And after getting to the traffic block here, it just becomes your normal any % strats again for a couple rooms. So we'll jump ahead to where the berries resume here. Alright, so we'll carry on with berries over here. And from this spot, we're just doing the normal any % type strats you'd use here until you get to this spring. From here, we're going to demo under this first block of ice and then dash upright to the next one to grab it and activate it. And as soon as we've activated it, we can do 2 climb jumps. So activate it, 2 climb jumps, and then a neutral to grab the berry here. And then we're going to fall back down to grab the ice block we activated, and then climb jump over it to the spring, and just 2 uprights to exit the room here. From here now, again, you got your normal any % strats for the start of this room, but for the end of the room here, we'll be doing something a little bit different than going straight to badeline. We're doing an extended hyper, and then a climb jump off of that bit of metal here, and 2 up dashes to get us up to this platform. From here now, we'll do an extended, or a reverse hyper rather, and then an upright dash, a wave dash, and then a down right, or down left, and an upright to grab the berry, and then head right back out here. Just like that. And once we're up here, we can just do a couple hypers and wave dashes, then a down left and a down dash to badeline. Heading up into 1,000 meters now, there are going to be another several rooms that are just any % rooms we can skip at the start here. So I'll just jump ahead to where the berry strats start, over here. Heading into 1,000 meters, just a quick note that we will be using plenty of dream hypers in this checkpoint. So if you have any trouble with dream hypers, there will be a tutorial linked in the description below, as well as a link to a document that outlines the frame windows for dream hypers if you're interested in that. That's not too necessary, it's just if you're feeling like the numbers could help you out. Alright, so this is the third room of 1,000 meters here, and you can just use your normal any percent strat here. But what we need to pay attention to is how we're exiting the room here. We want to be on the right side of this switch block, so we can go for a transition wall bounce up above here. And then as our feet become level or just below level with this platform here, we're going to go for an up dash and up left dash buffered through the transition here. So transition wall bounce, and then buffer those dashes. And then after the transition, you wanted to let yourself get the full height from that up left, so you can then just do immediate left dashes through the top of these next two dream blocks here. If you feel like you're gonna go too high in the second one and hit the spikes there, okay, I guess I'm not high enough quite to hit the spikes, but if you feel like that might happen, you can just wait a little bit so that you dash through it from a safe spot. Or if you know you're too low, there's a different strat for the berry here. The normal strat for the berry we're going to go for is we just dash straight up to it after we exit the dream block, because we were high enough. If you're too low, you can just fall a little, or you can go for a wall bounce on the far left wall, rather, like this, to the berry. After grabbing the berry, you're going to down right and up right just between the dash crystals and the dream blocks here to get through the final transition. Just like this. Then once you land here, you're going to go for an extended hyper through the transition, except you want to delay doing the hyper for just a split second to make sure you collect this berry, like that. And then after the transition here, we get another any percent room, so use whatever strat you like. This room, though, has a slightly complicated cycle, and that's what it looks like. To explain that, we're first going to be trying to go for a corner boost off this corner. It isn't totally necessary to hit the cycle, but it does help. And then for the first, second, and third dream blocks here, you're just doing right dashes through them. Exiting the third dream block here, though, you can go for either a quick dream jump or a dream hyper if you want to be a little bit faster. And then you want to be entering the bottom of the final dream block here, so you can go for an immediate wave dash out of it on this platform into a very short, just a very short jump on that wave dash. So you can do a bunny hop right after to clear this platform with a spring on it. So either dream jump or dream hyper from here, enter it low, then wave dash with a very short jump on the wave dash. So you can bunny hop here and clear that. And then after the transition, you should be about here, and you can just do diagonal dashes through this dream block until the end here, where you left dash and down left out of it. So a pretty simple room here. Now, again, same deal, wait a split second before going for the extended hyper through the transition to make sure you collect the berry. And then this is what the next room's cycle is going to look like here. I'll explain that. Hyper here, up left so that you're entering the second dream block over here from the high point of it, and then you can jump out of it to clear the third entirely. And then we'll just dash left and up through this transition here. Heading into the transition up above here, we're going to drift to the right, and then dash up through, or upright through this next dream block. Then jump out of it, and quickly dash up and upright through the next dream block here to get us through the secret pathway. Now getting to the berry over here, we'll just dash right and immediately back left through the transition with the berry. Then we can dash left through this dream block, jump out of it, dash up left through the next, and also jump out of it. After jumping out of that one, you'll dash up twice through the upper dream block here. Make sure you're not going to be too far to the right to slide along the side here, because that's a little bit easier than you might think. But after dashing up through this dream block, do 2 upright dashes through the top corner of the next one, and then dash up twice along the right wall here, so you can go for a transition wall bounce here. And then 2 up left dashes through the next transition up above here. From here now, you'll do an up left to slide more along the ceiling, and then you can go for 2 wave dashes off of these platforms here. This bit of the room with the dream blocks is just up left, up right over and over, so nice and simple. But after exiting this dream block, you can dash upright, then down right, slide along this platform and collect the berry. And then you can dash down left into the stone here after crossing the opening here, because this spot. If you dash down left here, you can fast fall straight down safely. Then after that, you'll fall to the berry over here, and then dash left the instant you touch it, or dash down left rather, so that you can get to the crumble blocks here. Then just jump off of them to activate them more quickly. Then drift slightly to the left here, so you can go for 2 wave dashes to exit the room. Now this room's an 80% room, so just use your normal strat here, whatever it may look like. But when you get to this platform over here, after you land, do a little bit of a late extended hyper to make sure you collect this berry. And then going into the next room here, once you get to this dream block with your normal strats, you'll dash right through it, and then right and up along this wall to start climbing it immediately here. So, up and along that wall to climb it immediately, and then open up the secret cubby up here. And once you're up here, you can just hyper to the berry. Oops, hyper to the berry, then wave dash down right and dash down right to get back out over to here. And this is how I go through these dream blocks, personally, just jumping through each of them, and then a down right and a right dash through the last one with this dream hyper. Oh, I accidentally demoed through it, so I can't dream hyper there. Let's repeat that really quick. But yeah, dream hyper. And then for the end here, though, the one thing you might change is that you're going to go for 2 downright dashes to make sure you collect the berry here. So downright dash through the transition, and then another downright to get the hyper. Again, use your normal 80% strats up to this point, but from here, what we're going to do is we'll dash right through the dream block, jump out of it, then when we're on the wall over here, do an up dash, a quick climb jump, and then a right dash when we're level with this platform, so we get a dash reset and break the ice block like that. And then you can, after doing that, dash right into the berry and then immediately back left to badeline. Just like that. And that'll take you up into 1500 meters up ahead here. Heading into 1500 meters, we're going to have to deal with a lot of cycles here, including death cycles, so just a fair warning that this checkpoint is going to take a while to teach. So I'm going to show off the entry cycle first, and then explain it. Alright, so that's what the cycle is going to look like. Now to explain that a little bit better, what's happening is you do an immediate reverse hyper upon entering the room here, and then a right dash to the wall, and a wall bounce off of the right wall. Okay, there we go. I was just trying to get a good save state over here. So, reverse hyper, then right dash over to the wall here, and immediately wall bounce off this wall, so that you can go up to that left side, kick off of it to the berry, and then start fast falling to this dash crystal. After touching the berry, again, immediately fast falling, you'll dash left, so that you're between these 2 dust bunnies here. And when the one on the left moves up out of your way, you can dash left again to get to the platform. Once you're on the platform, you're going to move along the ground a little bit, just to make sure the berry collects, and then you can jump up to the left here, dash up twice to the dash crystal. And once you're here, you'll delay in midair just a little bit, so that this final dust bunny moves down and out of your way. Then you can dash right and upright, aiming for that corner to get a corner kick to exit the room. If you don't feel comfortable aiming for the corner kick, still right dash and upright works just fine. For the death cycle for this very first room, instead of a reverse hyper like the enter cycle would do, we'll be doing an immediate extended hyper to the right. But after that, you should be treating everything else pretty much the same in terms of where you're waiting for dust bunnies or waiting for the berry to collect. Now we can just skip ahead to where our ARB strats are going to resume here. Once you've reached the end of this room here, you can just hyper through the transition, then dash down through the next to get yourself on the berry route here. Then from here, you can just do 2 wave dashes and some down dashes to get yourself through this next transition. From here now, the berry strat is going to look like this for this room. I'll explain in a quick second. It's just easier to show it once first, and then talk about it. So what's going on here is you'll just immediately hop off the crumble blocks so they dissolve a little faster, and fall down right to the first switch. Then you'll dash left through the second and wall bounce off the wall above it. and then you'll do 2 quick climb jumps to the dash crystal, just like that, and you'll want to fall to hit the left side of this switch, so you can try to dash up left and get a corner kick off this corner here. It's not necessary, but it will get you over that platform all the way to the final switch here, nice and easy. You can just climb jump over, you'll just have less stamina, but you can still manage the rest of the strat. So after that, after you've hit the switch and you're on this wall here, you'll just jump off it, climb jump off this wall, then dash upright to the next wall and climb jump off that as well. And that'll get you to the dash crystal, where you can then dash right and then down right to get yourself over to this platform. Then we'll just jump and wall bounce up to the berry, and after we've gone above the wooden platform here, we can dash down left and then immediately up through the transition to collect the berry and get us through the next transition here. So heading into the next room up above here, we'll dash up, and the instant that we can regain control of our dashes here, we'll dash up left and buffer a dash to the left to get us onto the platform here. Just like that. So when we're on the platform here, we'll go for an extended hyper, and then the instant we touch the berry, we'll want to dash back to the right, and then go for a demo hyper off of this same floating platform. Just like that. Then you can exit the room by going for a wall bounce off of this little wall here and just an up dash through the transition, like this. Now if you find this strat a little bit too difficult here, it's the same deal where you get to the platform here and go for an extended hyper, except the difference is you'll jump off the left wall instead of dashing back after getting to the berry. So you'll jump off the left wall, and then you can either demo hyper here again, or you can go for an extended super. Either works just fine for the exit to the room here. Now the death cycle for this room is you just walk off the edge and then almost repeat the normal fast cycle here, except you want to be all the way on the left wall before you dash back right, instead of dashing back right immediately once you touch the berry. So yeah, it's a lot of cycles for this room, but it is pretty important to know them, because this stuff can get pretty risky. Then after wall bouncing and dashing up through the transition, you want to dash up again until you're here. And once you're here, you can dash down right, and this is a little bit funny, but you'll dash down right and then dash down right again to get an extended hyper and then go for the strat where you hit this switch. And the reason you do 2 down rights in a row there is so you can collect the berry and then follow through with the rest of that strat. Up ahead here we have one of the longest cycle rooms of 1500 meters, so you'll want to take this one with a lot of practice. But the strat for this room is you'll do an extended hyper and jump just before the transition here, then do a wave dash after, and 2 upright dashes to the point where you land just barely to the side of this red chair in the background. And as soon as this dust bunny in front of us moves up and out of our way, we'll dash right and then down to the berry platform down below here. From here now, we'll dash right to the berry and then demo back left under this dust bunny to get us back to the wall, then 2 quick climb jumps to get us onto the berry platform again. From here now, we wait a split second to make sure we collect the berry rather. And then we'll just jump up and over, then do 2 right dashes through the gaps over to here. Once we get to this platform, we'll do an extended super, and then an up dash and a right dash to get us over the dust bunnies. And then here you can do either a hyper bunny hop and 2 up dashes, or an extended hyper and 2 up dashes. Either works fine, because you do have to wait for this dust bunny to get out of your way anyway. Once you're up here now, you'll just climb jump up when the dust bunny's out of the way, then dash right immediately, and then you can fall through this last gap here, dash right, wall bounce off that wall, and then when this dust bunny is on its way down, or on the bottom rather, you can climb jump over the top of it to get yourself over to here. Now for the next room here, you can just hyper in, then pull back to the left a little bit so you don't ram your face into the dust bunnies, and then just demo under the dust bunnies, dash up to the berry, and then you can hyper over to this wall here and just wall bounce up to the exit of the room. Now you have to take this, if you have to take this room on the death cycle, all you really change is that you just walk off the edge at the start. You still have to wait for the same bunny at the end there, so it doesn't make too much of a difference. Now heading on to the next strat here, what we're going to do is we're going to skip ahead to the end of the second really long room, because our berry strats are going to resume over here. So heading up through the transition up above here, what we'll be going for is just making sure that we're along the right wall and dashing up through the transition so we can get a transition wall bounce up ahead here. So off this transition wall bounce, we want to be holding left, and the instant that we're kind of crossing this wall's horizontal position here, what we'll be going for is 2 up left dashes through the transition like that. So transition wall bounce, 2 up left dashes through the transition, and then after the transition here, you want to reach peak height from that up left dash. So after we've done that, we can do our 2 left dashes to this dash crystal, then an up dash and a left dash over the dust bunny to get to the berry. Now for exiting the room here, you can just jump up and then land here to go for a death warp. Nice and easy. Alternatively, if you have to go for the death cycle in this room, it's going to look like this, where at the start there, you're jumping up to about your peak height, then doing an up left and then a down left to the first dash crystal. And then it's just an up dash and a left dash and another up dash and a left dash to get yourself over to the berry now finally. But yeah, either way there, just make sure you're not hitting the dust bunny. And even on death cycle, you can just do the same death warp over here. Now heading through the transition here, you're going to want to do a pretty short super to make sure you clear the first little ledge there. And then you can just kind of follow the rest of that, or whatever your any percent strat is for that room. But for this berry room here, we got something interesting we can do, where springs give you a dash reset. So if you don't have a dash as you are about to hit a spring and you buffer a dash, the instant you hit it, you will dash again. So the way that we use that here is we're going to push down dash early here so that we instantly get a down dash off the spring there and start heading towards the berry. So extended hyper here, 2 right dashes, then buffer that down dash, and then just up left from the berry to the dash crystal, up right, and up dash to get yourself up to the ledge up here. Now for the next room here, we're going to do a short hyper through the transition, then pull back to the left a little bit to make sure we don't slide onto here. Then we'll dash right and then up to do a climb jump and grab the dash crystal here. And then we can do a down right and an up dash to get a wall bounce off that next wall there, up to the dash crystal. You don't want to wall bounce too low or you'll hit that dust bunny I just died to. But after you get up here, you're going to be going for a transition wall bounce into the berry room up above now. So you'll dash up, then jump and hold left for this transition wall bounce to hit the spring. And then the cycle is going to look like this, and we'll explain it in a quick second here. Okay, so for this transition wall bounce, we're going to immediately hit the spring and fling ourselves over to here, which we'll climb jump off of twice to get ourselves up to here, where we can just do a quick climb jump, then 2 up left dashes to the next spring, and then dash right and upright over to the platform up here. Now, since we're doing a death warp here, just a quick note on doing death warp specifically for this winged berry. Wingeds take a little bit extra time to grab at first. So you can see how it still has the wings, even though I've grabbed it. It has to remove the wings and go through that full animation before it can then go through the collection animation. So you have to wait a little bit extra time before you can death warp with the winged berries here. But then after getting the winged there, you can just go through your normal any percent strat here, and that will have been all of 1500 meters for ARB. So let's just skip ahead here to 2000 meters now. For the ARB strats, we'll be going up to the top route here, so let's start there. Heading into 2000 meters now, we're going to be going for the top route up above here, which means we need to get a wall bounce off of this chunk of wall to get us through the top up there. So the setup for this actually starts from the previous room here, from the bubble. So we'll take the bubble to the left, then immediately dash up left and up through the transition to get this transition wall bounce. And then for the next wall bounce up here, you want to be buffering it, so you jump pretty low, and you want to be holding rights to make sure that you don't bonk and you actually make it through the transition. Just like that. Then heading through this transition, we're going to float straight up, then dash upright, and then down right to get a wave dash off of this first platform. So upright, down right to get a wave dash there. Except we want the wave dash to be a low jump so that we can get a super off of this first pink cloud, and then a wave dash off of the second, like that. You don't want to miss the berry though, like I just managed to do. So be very careful that you actually hit the berry here. Now heading into the next room up ahead here, we'll be just doing an extended hyper through the transition to make that berry collect and to give us a little bit of extra speed here. But after that, it's just pretty much your normal strat till the end of the room here, where our berry strats are going to be resuming. So coming up here, we have one of the first very long rooms of 2,000 meters with the snowball cycles. And there are a couple different ways to do the beginning of it here. That's my personal choice, but I know there's a bottom route variation that goes something like this. But either way, the goal is once you get to the platform here, you're going for an extended hyper off the edge with a low jump, so the snowball goes low with you, and you can do an upright dash over it, and then a right dash to the berry, like that. As long as you're getting a low jump on this extended hyper, and you have a pretty similar cycle to either of those, you should be fine. Then you can just climb jump up to the top here, and do a quick reverse hyper there to get your speed going into the next room here, while still collecting the berry there. But this room here, we can just skip over because our berry strats are going to resume after that. Heading into the vertical auto-scroller room here, you don't really have any choice when it comes to berry strats. You just have to do the room as consistently as possible, because there's really no way to make this go any faster. You're just rigidly stuck in this one strat. The only thing you really want to be paying attention to is that for the transition up at the top there, you can be dashing up through the transition, and then immediately dashing down to collect the berry here. Heading up into the next room here, we're going to dash up and then immediately back down into the cloud, and then jump with it for its full height and do an up left and a left dash through the gap there so we can skip the bubble here, because we don't want to take this bubble. From here now, we're going to do an extended hyper and jump just before the transition so that we can corner boost after, and then do 2 up left dashes to get us up to the winged berry immediately here. Then we'll do a quick hyper to the winged berry. You can extend it if you like, but you'll hyper to the winged berry and then dash back to the right onto the platform here. And from here now, you can do an extended hyper so that you collect the berry and get some speed. And then just dash right and up through the transition here. Coming into this room now, there is a strat that saves about 2 seconds overtaking the block that looks like that. And what's going on there is you're going to be doing a crouch jump to the left to grab this wall and then let yourself slide down into place. From here, you'll do a full jump to the right and then pull back to the left a little to grab this ledge. And from here now, you have to do 2 quick jumps to the right here to get a jump off of the spiked wall there. And then you should be able to do 2 kind of delayed up dashes so that you get the maximum height out of them. And then wall bounce off of the little bit there and up through the transition. And that saves you about 2 seconds over the normal strat, which is getting yourself up on that ledge, doing a reverse super over to the block, and then taking it up and dashing up through the transition. So if you can get consistent with it, it's a great little time save there. Now the strat for the seated berry room itself is going to look like this here, and I'll explain it in a bit. And then here's the exit strat. So to explain what went on for that little bit there, what we're doing is we're immediately upon entry here, going for a reverse super off of that bit of stone there, and then a climb jump on the left wall. Then from here, we'll do a wall bounce up through the first seed, and then aim to get a dash over the top of this platform here, so we get both of our dashes back. Then from there, we'll get to the second seed, and once we reach the second seed, we can go for a wall bounce through either this upper wall here or this little corner. Either little bit works. And then we'll take that wall bounce to the floating platform and kick off the side of it. Then repeat the dash reset thing over the next chunk here, so that we can then dash right and up and get a wall bounce into the seed there. Then you can skip the berry cutscene as usual for seeds, land over here, then do an up left and left dash to the berry platform, then dash up left through the berry, climb jump over, and dash down left to the platform. And from there, you want to delay a split second to make sure the berry collects before dashing to the side and dashing down through the transition here. Yeah, so just delay for a split second, then you can dash down through the transition there. Heading down through the transition now, there's a demo we'll be setting up for, and the strat for that looks like this. And the way that we're going to go about that is, first of all, after passing through the transition here, we want to drift to the right, and then dash down right to the block here, and buffer a jump off of it so that we don't activate the block. If you activate it, it can still be okay, but it makes it a little bit harder to get over the top of it without hitting the spikes on it. So you'll jump over the block, kick off the other side of it, and then use your last dash to get to the bubble over here. Now from the bubble, the demo setup is you fast bubble upright, then buffer an upright dash, and then buffer again a right demo through the spikes. And you should be able to make it to the next bubble every time like that. Now, if you're having trouble with this, it's not a big time save, so you can just take the normal route of dashing like this and getting to the berry that way. It's no big difference, really. After touching the berry here, you can just hyper and dash down through the transition, then hop to make the crumble blocks disappear faster, and immediately just dash down twice to the floor down here. From here now, you can do an extended hyper to make sure you collect the berry off this first platform. Then you'll do an upright and do a downright wave dash off the second and third. But off the third, you want the jump to be very, very small, so that you can then make it immediately through the gap to the berry here. If necessary, you can also pull back to the left in midair to make sure you don't go too far and run your head into the spikes. So like that, just pulling back a little bit to the left makes it a lot safer here. But after you touch the berry there, just go through the rest of this room with your normal any % strats. And for the last berry of 2000 meters, I gotta jump ahead to the end of the battle room, so I'll just cut ahead to that. Now for the final berry here in 2000 meters, on the way up here, you can demo under those spikes, and then just follow that dash pattern to get to the berry as quick as possible, and back to badeline as fast as possible. But if you feel like that's cutting it a little bit too close, then it's totally fine to just wait a split second, and then even like drift to the right here through the gap, and then go to the berry, and then back up to badeline, whichever way you prefer the most here. Heading up into 2500 meters now, we'll be going left without the use of the bubble. So the way we'll do that is from the start here, an up left and a left dash into this gap here. And then from there, we'll be jumping immediately and doing an up left dash to break the wall. And then an immediate wave dash through the gap that you just made. Just like this. And then after the transition here, you'll be going for a wall bounce off that chunk of wall, and then an up left dash into the red bubble. Then from the bubble, you'll take the bubble left, and do a full jump off of this wall, and go for a wall bounce off of the lower end of that upper wall here. And you want that wall bounce to have you holding jump and left, and the instant you make it to the berry, you want to be dashing upright to get back over the gap you just spanned. Then, after grabbing the berry and making your way back over, you'll fall between the spikes up there and the dash block here, down to the lower platform. Then from the lower platform down here, you just got a little bit of a dash pattern to exit the room, and that's going to be right, upright, right, and then down right. Just pretty much in quick succession here. So right, upright, right, down right, wave dash. Oops. And then you can grounded ultra after the transition, just like that. Now for this next bit up here, get to the red bubble here however you like. It's just important that when exiting here, you get to the strawberry, and in this second gap of spikes after the scramble block, so right here, make sure not to be moving too far to the right immediately, because you can run into those spikes. But from these scramble blocks, you can do a quick super, and then an upright corner boost off that corner, or just a climb jump, either's fine, to get to the next red bubble. And then just take it to the right, and then dash into the ground here to collect the berry. And the berry strats are going to resume a couple more rooms ahead, so we'll just jump ahead to where that starts again. Coming up ahead here now, we have the hub with both the key and the berry. And you can go up to the key here however you like, whatever your normal strat is, be it the one I just showed or the neutrals there, whichever works for you. But what you're doing is the instant you put the key in the door, you can hyper and down left into the bubble, and then there's a relatively new skip that saves about 5 seconds, where you don't have to go through the bottom route whatsoever. So the way this skip works is you'll want to take this bubble up left, then dash up to grab this wall, and then hold left and let go so you can grab the other wall here now. So from this wall now, we want to tap barely off to the side, so that we can then go for a wall bounce off of this same side, but only 1 or 2 pixels away from the wall. And we want to then, after the transition for this wall bounce, hold left for a very short amount of time, just enough that we don't hit the right wall, but not too long that we hit the left wall of spikes there. And after that, once we've reached the peak height of the wall bounce, we can go for 2 up dashes up this chute, grab that wall, and then head up towards the berry. So this can be pretty difficult, but considering the fact it saves 5 seconds, it's very worth it to go for. But yeah, just grab the berry now, and then head down through here, take the bubble right, then dash upright out of it, wave dash, and then you can dash down into this bubble here that will take up through to the next room up here. Heading up above here into the next couple rooms, we'll take the bubble up, and after the transition, hold left and push jump to get a bubble wall bounce here. And then we will dash up to land on the left side of this platform up here, and then immediately do a full height super, where we can then hold down left after that to fast fall into the spring here, which should set us up pretty well to then grab the other side of this dash block as it's rising and use that momentum to fling us up to the berry here. From here now, we'll just tap jump to make the crumble blocks disappear, then dash down twice to get to the floor. Then we'll dash right into the next room and do a jump and turn around in midair to grab the wall here. And then we'll do 1 climb jump and then kick off the wall so we can dash up into button and immediately dash down right over to here. Now for the faster cycle, the instant we land, you have to go for a really quick hyper bunny hop and up dash into the button, but that's pretty hard to hit. So for a slightly easier cycle, what you'd want to do instead is just hyper here, then dash down left into the spring, and then delay just a little bit so you can hit the button without getting hit by that spinner. Then you'll dash right over to here, and then jump up a little bit, then dash up and wave dash into the next room. And then we'll wave dash again off the dash block here, and this is what the rest of the room is going to look like there. So what's happening here is after the wave dash off the dash block here, we're going to do a climb jump over this section of wall here, and then a right dash and an upright dash to get us immediately over to the dash crystal here. And then once we're at the dash crystal, we're going to kick off the wall and dash to the right twice, but I messed it up, so I got to start the cycle over. Let me just show that to you again briefly here. So we'll hit the dash crystal and immediately kick off the wall there, so we can then do 2 right dashes over to the berry here. Once we've grabbed the berry, we just want to fall to touch the edge of this platform, walk off it, and then we can dash down left to get through the gap here down below. Then to collect the berry, we can just do a quick reverse hyper on the ground and head into the door skip room up ahead here. But the berry strats are going to resume more towards the latter half of the final badeline room here, so I will just cut ahead to that. Alright, so for the final room of 2500 meters here, after this badeline toss up here, you'll wait till you reach peak height from it, and then dash up and go for a left demo hyper, and then a corner boost. And you want that demo hyper to be extended, so you can have those dashes to use right after to go for the berry. So again, wait to peak height, then dash up, and then immediately left demo, and then go for a corner boost. And then a downright dash to get you to the very opening of this secret entrance down here. And then in the secret pathway down there, after you've landed here, you're going to go for a quick hyper to the berry, and then a wave dash back, followed by a quick bunny hop to that left wall. And then you can kick off the left wall here, and then get up to here, where the little platform is here that you'll collect the berry, like this. And then as this dash block is descending, you can jump over above it and then dash down into it. And then what we're doing here is we want to be on the right side dash block as we are ascending, and as it's about to reach the point where we'll hit the spikes, we'll go for a super here, and it needs to be an immediate super to the point that you don't get any sort of edge correction to the point where the block is like moving you down, like might be happening if you dashed like that. So make sure it's a very immediate super into an up left dash to get up to the berry here. After you've grabbed this berry, you can then just extended hyper and upright to the bubble. And then there's a kind of complex looking but not so bad dash pattern that's going to go on here. But that's how the room is beaten there quickly. And the way to go about this is you take the bubble up left and you try to dash in line with this platform. If not, that's fine. If you're going above or under. But either way, you'll then dash up left into the button. And if you manage to dash along the platform, you can then dash straight down into the floor here. From here now, in the corner over here, we'll do an extended hyper, then a downright and an upright to get ourselves over here, right outside the range of the next secret entrance over here. And then we'll dash right and up to hit this button. Then we can wave dash out of that little secret cubby, and then dash down, like this, so that we can then dash down right to the final little secret area with the last berry, and do a kind of late jump so that we don't get a wave dash. But then after we've grabbed the berry, we can wave dash back out and dash up left to the bubble, finally taking it up with badeline to exit this room. Heading up into 3000 meters here, we can just skip ahead to flag 27 because that's where our berry strats are going to resume up ahead here now. So let me just find the flag really quick here. Okay. Alright, so from flag 27 here, we're just going to do 2 wall bounces up to this right side of this wooden platform here, where we can dash up left and get pretty much a free corner boost off of this double spiked corner as long as we are along the right wall here. And then after that corner boost, we'll do an extended super off the flag 26 platform, just like this, and then an up dash along this next wall, then a climb jump on the wall there. And after that climb jump, we'll go for a wall bounce up above here into the dash crystal, and then some buffered dashes alternating between upright and right for these next couple dash crystals. To the point where we should be hitting this dash crystal and then pretty much falling straight down, which will line us up to go for a right dash into the berry and a wall bounce on the block above it. And then after that, we will take that next dash crystal and dash right twice with it, and then get to the final dash crystal and go upright twice with it to get us over to flag 25 up here. From here at flag 25 now, we're going to be doing a wall bounce, and then a couple climb jumps there, and a left dash over to this wooden platform. And then from here, 2 up dashes and to get a wall bounce off that little hanging corner, and then hold right and jump, and then hit your second jump button, jump over that corner to immediately get up onto the crumble blocks here. Now from here, you're going to go for a hyper bunny hop into a wall bounce to get you up to this little section of wall here. And now you have 2 variations of the strat, one much harder than the other. So the harder one, you need to be dashing left and then buffering an extended hyper to then take you all the way to the berry. However, the distance to get an extended hyper there is really short, so this mostly ends up being dangerous more than anything else. Just kind of adding unnecessary danger into the run. A much simpler way to go about it is after the wall bounce here, you can just go for an up left dash to get you on the side of the crumble blocks instead. Then for collecting the berry, it's just an extended hyper off of here, then a wall bounce, a dash up to this wall, then a climb jump up and a neutral to touch the berry. And after that, you can dash right onto these crumble blocks, and then dash up once and dash up again to get a wall bounce to get you up to flag 23 here. Now, we can skip ahead a little bit more to where the next berry strat's going to be, and that'll be up here. So for the flag 21 berry here now, you'll want to be starting on the left side of the platform here, so you can go for an immediate extended super into 2 up dashes to hit the spring here. And after you hit the spring, you'll go for a wall bounce off the floating platform there to get up to the berry. Once you've grabbed the berry here, you can jump off the wall, kind of slide a little bit past the floating pillar there, and then do a left dash to the spring. Then it's just 2 right dashes to the crumble blocks and your normal any percent strats after that to get to flag 20. And now we'll just skip ahead to updraft where our berry strats resume. Alright, so for the first berry of updraft here, we're going to get ourselves up to flag 18 like this. And then we can just go for a quick wave dash and ultra down to the cloud over here. And make sure that you're on the left side of the cloud for the cloud jump, so you'll kind of have to control your landing there. But after that, you can demo left and then dash up immediately to the berry. Oops. Yeah, you can demo left to make sure you clear under the spikes, then dash up immediately to the berry. And then for the exit, you're just going to be dashing over to the cloud, waiting for it to go up just a little bit before going for a hyper, so that you can go for your 2 dashes to get you immediately back onto the flag 18 platform. That is, if I could get the extension here. There we go. Then when you're on the flag 18 platform here, you can just go for an extended super up there and then 2 more right dashes over to flag 17. Now we're just going to jump over to flag 16 for the next berry. So you got a couple of strat options for the flag 16 berry here, first of which being you can just do what's pretty much the normal strat, dashing upright to the berry, then dashing up left to wrap around and then grab the side of the platform, and just climb back up to the flag here. Alternatively, you can go for this demo strat here, where you demo right, and then demo back left, to then climb back up around to the platform up here. However, if you're going to go for the demo strat, there's something you gotta be careful of. If you're trying to do a dash into a buffered demo in midair, you won't actually get a demo. And proof of that is, so triangle's my demo button, and you can see here the dash trail is at Madeline's feet when I demo, and it's at the center of her body when I do a normal dash. If I just press demo twice and I'm buffering the second one while in midair, I'm not actually getting a demo. I'm getting the dash trail at the center of Madeline's body. So this just means you have to delay it just a split second to make sure you get a demo, and can go to the berry and then wrap back around to then climb off the platform here. Okay, and now for the flag 15 berry, you can just do a wall bounce and left dash to the right side of the platform here, then a full jump, and an up left dash over the top of the spikes there, and a wall bounce to grab the berry and get back out. Then you can collect this berry over here when you go for an extended hyper off of flag 14's platform. Okay, let's skip ahead to flag 4 with the final berry of Summit. Alright, so for the very last berry here, you can do the very start of this pretty much the exact same as your any percent strats. It's just where you want to differ things is right here. You want to be dashing up and over, so up and then left over the spikes here. And then from here you have two choices. You can either jump and then go under here for a quick little wall bounce, and then taking the berry back, or you could go over the top with two dashes like that and kicking off the side. Over the top is a little bit safer, because you don't have to worry about getting close to all these spikes here. So if you want to be safer and only lose a tiny bit of time for this berry, then over the top is the way to go. But either way, over or under, once you get to the berry platform here, you want to get an extended hyper off the edge so that you can do hopefully 2 right dashes, clear those spikes and land all the way down here. But again, for safety purposes, it might be better to just go for an upright and then a right dash to land down here. And that is all of the berries for Summit. So I'm just going to hop over to the very end of the level here so we can get the outro screen. Reasonable goal time for Summit ARB is around 14 to 14.5 minutes for full runs, with a solid margin for error included in that, since this is such a long chapter. If you're really trying to push the strats to their limits, you could even try and get your time to below 13 minutes, but that will require you to be very well practiced with your any percent strats in Summit on top of the all red berry strats that we showed you here, especially in 3000 meters where there are such massive gaps between berries. But yeah, that's all for Summit ARB, so thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next and final episode in Core.